All right. Greetings, everyone. We are so glad you're here today. Welcome to the 100Kin10 Summit virtual orientation. And a quick note is that we are actually recording this presentation and we'll send it to you along with the slides after today's session. And really excited that so many of you are here to join us live. This is a 30-minute orientation that's geared for first-time attendees to Summit. And for folks who aren't as familiar with 100Kin10, but we welcome all Summit registered attendees, as we know it's always helpful to have a refresher. A couple housekeeping items that we have here in the Zoom chat. If you navigate there, you'll see some updates come in through the chat. Please keep yourself muted if you haven't already. You can hover over where your video, the image of your picture is, or where you can see yourself moving. There's 3 dots, and you can tap that and choose rename. You can rename yourself to your first and your last name. That way we know who you are. We'd love to just be able to welcome you and address anything you bring up first by your name. If you have any questions along the way, you can feel free to type them as they come up for you right into the Zoom chat, and then we'll do our best to respond to the questions during our presentation, but also we're going to have a dedicated Q&A portion at the end of our session today. Oh, I see a note that my audio is not the best. I'm going to try to maybe speak a little bit. I think that Karen, who wrote that, if you can type in again and let me know if you can hear me a little bit better now, or if you have any other notes. Okay, Z wrote that the audio sounds fine. If anything comes up, just feel free to put those notes in the chat, whether it's a technical issue or a question about the content. So today presenting is I'm here, Kendra Danowski, Community Designer and Manager at 100Kin10, and my teammate Julie Petruzzo, Partner Engagement Manager at 100Kin10. And also here in the room with us, who you can't see, is our Fearless Coordinator, Maylu, Community Coordinator here at 100Kin10, who will be helping to support any immediate questions in the Zoom chat, as well as those technical questions. Today, for our agenda, we're going to talk about what 100Kin10 is for those who are brand new, just to share an overview of who we are, what we do together. Then we're going to talk about Summit, and we'll really focus on just a quick overview of what Summit is for first-time attendees and others, as we mentioned. We'll review some frequently asked questions and some helpful tips to keep in mind, and then we'll have our Q&A. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Julie, who's going to do our 100Kin10 overview.
All right. Hello, everyone. I see lots of familiar faces, lots of new faces as well, which is particularly really exciting. Summit is really the perfect time to get to know 100Kin10 and really see what the network is all about. So it's so wonderful to have so many folks here with us now, and we cannot wait to see you all in person in a week. So first, about 100Kin10. So this might be a bit old hat to some of you, but it can be a refresher for everyone. 100Kin10's vision is that all students have access to high quality STEM knowledge and skills in order to solve the most challenging, pressing issues of our time. And we do that by uniting and supporting the nation's top academic institutions, nonprofits, foundations, corporations, and government agencies to train and retain 100,000 new and excellent STEM teachers by 2021, and also to address the systemic challenges that stand in the way of long-term sustainable progress in this area. In terms of our values, there are 4 values that really guide how we show up both on our team and in our network. We are a small but mighty team, and we really believe that we can solve problems that seem intractable when we work in community. So we believe in community. Our tagline is "Together we'll solve it," because we know that the problems we're solving can't be solved by one organization or one individual alone. We believe that our work is stronger because of the diverse strengths, talents, experiences, and perspective of our team and the broader network. We listen to all perspectives because we know that it takes everyone's viewpoint to see the whole picture. We build each other up, we empower each other, and we give each other what we need in order to grow and thrive. We embrace experimentation grounded in learning. We ground our work in research, and we build on others' insights. We explore, we test new ideas, and we push the envelope to improve and bring fresh thinking to bear on old existing problems. We celebrate failures, and we share our vulnerabilities and our courage. We are open-hearted. We build authentic relationships because trust and empathy are really the lifeblood of any shared endeavor. We speak and we listen honestly, with generosity, assuming good intentions. We bring our whole selves to work. We celebrate and bring beauty, fun, and joy into our work. We are audacious. We ask partners and all of you to really go above and beyond, and we also do the same in turn. We're hopeful about the possibility of change, even when the challenges that confront us seem overwhelming and too daunting. We believe big goals inspire and mobilize likely and unlikely allies to link arms together. We ask each other regularly, what would we do if we were really going to do this? And then we bring our creativity, dedication, and passion to delivering on those audacious goals. So these values really reflect how we aspire to live as individuals, how we show up for each other, and how we believe change will ultimately happen. All right, so as you can see here, in his 2011 State of the Union address, President Obama made a call for 100,000 new and excellent STEM teachers over the next decade. Like many other similar calls, this one went unfunded, and 100K10 was really founded as a joint response to this need. So we made it our mission to get and keep 100,000 new and excellent STEM teachers by 2021. We didn't really know how this would happen, but we really knew that it would take more than just one individual organization or even just a small handful. We really needed this to be multi-sector, diverse, and drawing on the deep strengths of so many stakeholders already working in this space and those who also were yet to work in this space. And so we started out with 28 founding partner organizations who pledged to really do something in service of this shared goal. So that doing something was a commitment that each partner organization made that showed how they would either recruit, train, retain, otherwise support, or do something to really draw attention to this need for more excellent STEM teachers. Since then, we've grown to over 280 partner organizations. You can see here all the various organization types and sectors. We've got nonprofits, school districts, museums, professional associations, universities, and more. And each organization really contributes their own expertise and their own passion in the form of that commitment to action. And so all of our partners are really making that shared public commitment to either increase the supply of new excellent STEM teachers, to continue to develop, retain, and support STEM teachers already in the classroom, or build the movement to keep the attention on this need either through vehicles such as media, policy, or funding. The really important thing here is that commitments are not theoretical. They are concrete commitments and action. In terms of 100K10's approach, first we knew that we needed a network of folks to really take on this challenge. So like-focused, yet diverse, organizations to pull together their unique assets to bear against the shared goal. Our network is comprised of those 280 organizations who have made commitments. And we also have, as many of you on this webinar right now, guests and other teachers who are really critical to this mission as well. And through your own work as an individual, through the work of either your school or your organization, are also really critical to this mission. Second, we learned that we needed a map of the system that really shows us the problem that we're facing. You can't start to solve something if you don't really understand what is going on underneath the system, and we've really learned that. And so with the support of stakeholders from our network and beyond, we mapped out the problem space, developed a system of grand challenges that really provides us that 360 view of what the system is and how we can potentially solve it in order to get and keep great teachers in STEM. This map also shows us some of those higher leverage areas where we might have outsized impact on the rest of the system. And lastly, we needed tools, experiences, and opportunities for engagement that helps our partners and others come together and really mobilize against those challenges that we've seen through the map. So these tools help us learn, adapt, and solve problems collaboratively. We've come to understand that in order to really engage with each other in this way, we need to show up in a way that is vulnerable and open to learning and experimentation. So these tools really help us build that mutual respect and get deeply into the work together in order to make impact. And so our network of partners is on track towards that 100,000 goal. We're actually ahead of schedule. As of 2017, our partners have recruited and prepared over 54,000 excellent STEM teachers. We've also supported tens of thousands more. A lot of our partners are really working to support in-service teachers as well. And we will be announcing an update at Summit, so stay tuned. I'm sure many of you were thinking that as you saw this slide and wondering what the current number is, so we will be sharing that at Summit, so do stay tuned. And so I discussed this a bit before, but really the grand challenges are so important to this work. You know, they really allow us to understand and see what is happening and to do that and to then start to take action. And so you can see them here, and many of you are very familiar with these. Many of you might remember them from your registration form where we asked how you'd like to be grouped with other attendees, but those are teacher leadership, value of science, technology, and engineering, professional growth, instructional materials, elementary STEM, preparation, and prestige. And we developed this map over the course of years alongside our partners and teachers and other experts in the field. And so these are the 7 overarching themes, and then there are roughly about 100 individual challenges underneath those 7 themes. And then the catalysts, I kind of referred to these without naming them earlier, but these are the highest leverage points for change in the system. So they have, based on the data, the most impact over the rest of the system. So these catalysts fall into all 7 of those various themes, and they are areas where we are trying to pay even more attention because of the impact that they are shown to have. So these were really compiled from over 35,000 data points from over 750 experts to really see this interconnection between the map. And so we're excited that we know what these are and we can start tackling them all together. And so we've talked about the network, we've talked about the map. In terms of our tools, we really have a wide variety of ways for partners to learn from and with each other, to collaborate together, and to take on shared challenges together. So those are everything from if you have 5 minutes to read our weekly roundup, to go onto our Grand Challenges website and poke around, or read something that a project team has produced. So there are ways for you to engage in virtual events. This is also a virtual event, and check out some of that content. We have opportunities that are a day or a day and then some. Obviously, the summit is one of those in-person opportunities. We also have an opportunity called collaboration grants, which really enable partners to learn from each other, to adapt existing solutions that seem promising and that might work in their own space. So we have events throughout the year, and we have those collaboration grants that are available throughout the year as well. And then we also have opportunities that are a bit longer term. Those are our project teams, where groups of partners work against a shared challenge over the course of 6 months to make some kind of change in that area. So many of you are either on one of those project teams or familiar with those. If you're not, there will definitely be ways for you to learn more about them. Some of the topics that these folks are working on are issues such as diversifying the STEM teacher pipeline, topics such as enhancing opportunities for rural STEM educators and ensuring that they have access to all the materials and resources that they need. So we currently have 14 project teams that are working together in that long-term way. So that is a brief overview of the network. I'm going to toss it over to Kendra now to talk more about Summit.
Thank you. Thanks, Julie. And as a kind reminder, we have some questions coming in to the Zoom chat. So if questions come up, feel free to plop those in, and we'll do our best to respond to them in the chat, in our presentation, or at the end. Thanks. All right. Well, now we get to talk about Summit and what we're all excited for. Exactly 2 weeks from today in San Diego. Summit is our hallmark annual gathering and a huge highlight of the year for us and for the entire network, where partners, guests, and dozens of teachers gather together in a truly inspiring environment for so much peer-to-peer learning, collaborative problem solving, and trust and relationship building. It's one of those core tools that Julie mentioned as a key part of the change we're making together. So we fuel up together at this moment, and I wanted to give a little bit of an overview to share with you who's coming. So we have 158 organizations total represented. We have over 270 registered individual attendees. We have 42 members of the 100Kin10 Teacher Forum. We have around 20 guests to the network who are supporting in some of those initiatives that Julie mentioned, supporting all of the work happening by partner organizations. And we have 135 first-time Summit attendees. So hopefully that's many of you on the call today, and we're just so glad that you're joining us. So we are just very excited that we will see you all at the zoo. Yes, these koalas live at the zoo. So aside from enjoying sunny San Diego and the zoo environment, what's so great about Summit and what can you expect? Here's a brief overview. At Summit, you can uncover new to you approaches and really work to name shared challenges together. So at Summit, we know that it's a really critical space for bringing together all of the solutions and servicing the challenges that we're facing individually at our organizations, and coming together to name those things and in a way that we might not otherwise have encountered or explored together. So we recognize Summit as really this unique forum of all of the voices, the ongoing work, and the really tough questions that you have, and connecting with others around them. We have so many existing approaches and solutions to build from, and the design of Summit is really to empower us to share, mobilize, and adapt around those so that we can build the best practices that we need for this shared work. Summit offers small group conversations because we really believe that cultivating trust between us as individual people is what fuels and really sustains our deep and meaningful work together. We know that trust and vulnerability is necessary for us to feel connected, and also for us to continue to identify what makes our work shared and what makes our work impactful together. We offer ample time for networking, so there's unstructured time as well, over meals, in between sessions. And we also have, at the end of the day, a session with fresh perspectives from really visionary lightning speakers. We call them lightning speakers because the format of their talks is very similar to quick bites and really just inspiring perspectives that will keep you going. So you won't find the traditional keynote, so to speak, but really some energizing offerings from folks who can really help us visualize what we might do to keep making change happen. So we hope that Summit as an entire day will leave you just extremely energized and ready to take action on your next step. I'm going to spend a little time talking about the flow of the day as well, and to also hopefully make clear what some of the adjacent days of Summit mean to the experience as a whole. So When we say summit, we really think about Tuesday, March 26th, the full day of summit. But many of you will be arriving in town in San Diego, if you're not already there, to join us for site visits, which you would have registered for using through the registration form, and you should have already received some details from Julie about that last week. We have a welcome happy hour, which will be hosted at the Marriott Mission Valley, which is our preferred summit hotel, from 4 to 6 p.m. on Monday. We really hope you can join us. It's just a really great way to kick off and meet new folks while we're all in town. Tuesday, March 26th will be summit, and I'm going to dig into a little bit about what you can expect about the flow of that day in a moment. And some of you might have noticed that Wednesday, March 27th shows up on some schedules, and we know that many of you are joining us for invitation-only work sessions. So if you are on a project team, such as the ones that Julie mentioned, if you are joining us for our dedicated funder gathering, or if you're part of the Empowering STEM Teacher Experimentation Grantee community, you'll be prepared to join us again at the zoo for a second day and dig in with your dedicated project group. All right, so if we're looking at the day of summit, here's how it will flow. We will kick off the day with breakfast and registration. And if you're a member of Teacher Forum, you'll want to take care to arrive on the first shuttle. We have all these details and more to share with you in many of our materials. But to start the day all together during the Teacher Forum meetup. So that will be from 7:30 to 8:30. We get started bright and early for a great day. And then after breakfast, which will be unstructured and open for those of you who are joining and not part of the Teacher Forum, we'll all join together for a welcome opening plenary with some special guests and remarks from the San Diego Zoo, as well as some opening remarks from our co-founder and executive director, Talia Milgram-Elcott. And then we will continue to all be together and take part in these small group conversations that we mentioned around summit groups. And actually, I might ask Julie to jump in and speak really briefly about what a summit group is. Some of you will know what that we asked you about the Grand Challenge theme that you're either thinking about or that you want to learn about, working around or that you want to learn about. Or you maybe chose like a wild card, put me in a group with other people that you think I might like to know. But Julie is really the keeper of those groups, so I'll let her speak to it for a second.
Yeah, so they're just really a way. We know that summit is a time when, you might just bump into someone in line for breakfast or lunch and really have a great conversation that you might not have expected to have. So there's tons of moments like that all throughout summit, also with the partner-led sessions, which Kendra will talk to in just a moment. But we also do some curation of small groups based on what we know, and it's just really a time for you to come together and get to know those folks. So we'll be e-connecting you next week in case you want to chat at all beforehand, meet at happy hour or anything like that. But it's just some of our recommendations, but there's plenty of opportunities to meet your own folks as well. So stay tuned for that.
Great. And I see a couple of questions that have come in the chat. I'm just going to take the opportunity to respond to them. We have a question about, will the zoo be open to the public on March 26th? And yes, the zoo will be open to the public. So we will be spending time in certain parts of the zoo, but we will not have full reign of the San Diego Zoo that day. But there's going to be lots of support to be able to find what where you need to go, but also all of the animal exhibitions and everything at the zoo will be open. There's a question from Jean about breakout sessions and when the presentations are due. I'm gonna follow up actually later this week with some more details about that. So I'm going to delay that response until the email, and I can address very quickly at the end of the session as well. Christine asked, how do we know what summit group convo we're in? And Julie is going to share that email introducing everybody so that you could connect earlier at the happy hour or jump in on an email exchange together, and that's going to be next week. All right, so we'll have really wonderful, rich conversations with that dedicated, curated group, summit group, and then it'll be time for breakouts. And so there are two types of partner-led sessions. There is a Steal This session, which enables partners to showcase their own experiences, approaches, and strategies things that can be adapted or that are learning from, projects that you tried and that you also want to just share that effort on. So some of you who are on the virtual orientation today are presenting in those, and feedback sessions, which will be presented by 100Kin10 project teams. And those are opportunities for you to step up and share your expertise with those project teams, and you'll be able to discuss their in-progress work and share your perspective. Then we have an exciting lunch block of time. So there will be lunch and open networking for everybody. If you have signed up to join the Rural STEM Micro Network Lunch, which is the launch of our Rural STEM Micro Network, you should have been receiving emails about that, and there'll be a dedicated room for you to join that group of folks. For Teacher Forum members, you can sit in on a listening session, which will be led by 100Kin10 staff. This is optional for you, but it will be a great prep session if you'd like to put your head in the space of leading your own listening session in your local community, and just connect and ask questions about that. And at our, in our main Summit Hub, we will have an info table that Julie will be at to share more information about network growth, so how the 100Kin network will be growing this year. And also for partners to think about how and in what ways you'll be refreshing your commitment to our shared work. Finally, we will have a second breakout session block with field discussions and project team feedback sessions. And so those two session blocks, you'll choose your breakout to attend, and then we'll all come back together again for our 3 amazing lightning talks featuring Todd Cozine, Nilofer Merchant, and Anne Milgram. All of their bios are on our Summit website, which we'll share the link with you if you haven't checked it out already, as well as some closing remarks from Talia and just a lot of gratitude for the day. Finally, if you want to keep sticking around, we have a zoo bus tour. So we'll have 2 buses dedicated for 100Kin10 Summit attendees, which will be a really fun and also specifically tailored tour led by amazing team members from the zoo's Institute for Conservation Research with some 100Kin10 specific notes and talking points. So we definitely encourage you to join that bus tour. The zoo will be open and you'll be able to walk around during lunch, and you'll walk from place to place during our breaks in between sessions, but the zoo bus tour will be a great way to see everything there is to see at the zoo and get around with our crew, with our Summit folks. All right, we have a question about signing up for the bus tour. So that's a great question. On the registration form, we did ask about your interest, which is to help us get a sense of how many folks would like to join the bus tour. We won't be checking tickets or anything. There are some opportunities we named, like the Rural STEM Micro Network Lunch, where you will have needed to sign up ahead of time. The bus tour is not one of those things, so you are happy to, we're happy to have you decide at the end of the day if you'd like to join us. Okay, thanks so much for all your questions, everybody. We wanted to share some notes about how to prepare for Summit. And this is really key. We want to invite you to share your strengths. You are at Summit for a reason, and we really believe that everyone has something to teach and everyone has something to learn. We want you to open up about your challenges. So we want to ask you to really share what you're struggling with and figure out, share with everybody what you're really working to figure out in your organization. For us, it's really important for us to create a space where folks feel like courageous to open up and share with others about tough things that you're facing. This really connects to the trust and relationship we need to take on this work together. I'm going to pause for a moment because I noticed that we are at time, and we had 30 minutes fly by very quickly. And we did make clear in the calendar invite that this session would end at 30 minutes. And so we want to end on time. And I also want to note that we're going to be sharing all of the slides We would love if you can share your questions in the Zoom chat. And also, Julie and I can stay on the line for a short amount of time if you would like to ask some specific questions. But we really wanted to make sure that we share with you that Summit is this important day for us to really practice being in community together, to do this work, to share your strengths and open up about your challenges, to be vulnerable and actively engage, but most importantly, to have fun. We are just so glad that you're all here and engaged at the virtual orientation to get excited for Summit, and want to emphasize that Julie and me and Mabel and all of us here on our team are here to help make Summit a really important and wonderful experience for you, especially if it's your first time. So some of you are asking about some specifics about the logistics, so I'm going to leave with the link to our app, which we encourage you to check out, which has lots of details about the day. And I want to, again, extend our gratitude and wish you all a great next couple weeks. We will be following up with you by email with more details along the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. We really can't wait to see you.